society. So not just society looking at architecture and trying to understand architecture, but actually thinking about the way that we, about a different way of looking at the world. So kind of like, how can we look at space, look at manifestations of architecture in space, and understand the way that society is evolving. So the idea of doing things in public spaces was really a way of kind of broadening our audience. When we did these 26 consecutive nights of performances and lectures and events in the park outside, it was really this pavilion designed by Min Suk Cho was, in fact, architecturally had no purpose because it didn't keep the rain out, didn't keep the noise out, didn't keep the wind out, but it did function as an icon within the city, a very powerful icon that attracted a lot of attention to the events happening inside. So it was like an urban condenser of
defining a public space more than anything else.
Yeah, and so in two different aspects to that. One is kind of like re-evaluating the possibility of inhabiting public space, which is unfortunately, as everything becomes more regimented and rules for everything, how you do certain things, it becomes increasingly difficult to just kind of be in the public space and do things and express ideas. And on the other hand, this idea of kind of people just coming by, walking past, joining the conversation, that was something that was really super successful. So those are the really the ideas.
Well, right now you're hosting the Situation Room project by Exist, and I think it's this explained very well how about all this idea of interaction of it's not only for the public or only a platform to promote architects. It's something that makes people interact, and is that I mean the Exist has been doing this kind of I've been doing projects in this sense since 2003, and how was how did it started, and what is Exist, and how does
when in 2003 we were students when we started the Exist Collective, and it was like the idea of creating something like a group of people working together and like sharing ideas, knowledge, abilities, and I think it's not so far that what did the founder of the storefront at the beginning, but we were aware and knowing the storefront at that time, so it came to us as an intuition, as a way to start working together and not going in the traditional way of work, but just to make the thing that we feel good to do and the thing that we want to experience together. So as we start, we creating something like we wanted to do there, like a place to live and to work and to meet people at the same time, like a really kind of open space that make people able to do the simple thing of life and create something else from that. And what was happening and was really interesting, that each of us just came with his own idea of what was architecture, what was art, and what he wanted to do in the space. And at the end, the result was really something else, something that was like up to us, and that's what was really interesting. And I think that's what people felt when they came to the space, and they really understood it was like a mix of different abilities and a kind of hybrid intelligence somehow. And what was really nice too, that the people that we gathered at that point in the first project that we did was really from different kind of social background. It was like old people from the neighborhood, like the old woman just running after his like dog and everything like that. And that's how we start. Then, like so far we have done like many projects. First, people came to us. The second project was the EASA, which is a kind of student community that was created in Liverpool in '81, and it was to respond to the problem of homeless and the lack of shelter in Liverpool. And during that summer, the students decided to act and just not to make project, but really to create something with their hand, and that's what they did. And the network was like traveling around Europe, and then they came to us because they were interested in the fact that we were able to use scaffoldings, and that's how we invent the game, this kind of auto construction game that was like an old idea, but not so much down, because like a lot of architects did that, but it was only proposal, and there is not a lot of project doing that way.
Where you actually make micro-scale utopia, sort of
somehow,
social utopias, and it's more at the level of the interaction between people and the architecture, the direct implication of architecture, than just building a model, intellectual model that is just sitting and so you put a lot of energy into making all those events happen, right? Is that correct? Or
we just try to find the minimal thing that can motivate people to act and to work on that idea together. And on the EASA project, we just like designed the showers and the kitchen, which was like the minimal need that we need to live in a community. And it was really working as an impulse to get the people doing themselves their own shelter and to try to develop the camp. And then that's our appeal, because at the end of this camp, we transformed the initial setup into a kind of artist camp. And that's how we met like Manu Chao and all those people from another network actually. And at that time there was also Daft Punk who was recording their last album, and that's how like the Franz and Pierre, who were like really involved in the video process and everything, start to make VJing, and then it created a kind of diversity in the